Shabbat Shalom Barach, Baruch Hashem, here we are after the Chag Shavuot, the holy day of Matan Torah, and we are going into Parashah Nasso. Parashah Nasso talks about a few points that we want to talk about to bring out beginning of the summertime around the corner. It's getting hot out there, and it's a reminder for us how much we have to watch our eyes, men, and also for women, how they have to be walking around with tsunua clothes, modesty, even though it's very hot out there and they're sweating. We know that our sages tell us the more a woman sweats and does misread nefesh and wears modest clothing, every single tip of sweat that she has, Hashem takes that and it's so precious in front of Hashem that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves that and is going to bring only bracha on her head and her husband and the whole Jewish people. Now, before we get into the story of Sotah here in this Parashah, which is something that we have to learn from in our generation, the Torah is everlasting. It says in the Pasuk, V'eish asher yiten lekohen lo yeh, that every Jewish person who brings the Truma to the Kohen, to the Beit HaMikdash, he has to give the share to the Kohen, like the Torah says. And if he doesn't, then he's going to be ending up with poverty. The story is told of a rich man who had a son, and the rich man was always giving his 10%, even more than that, 20% to charity, and he was always encouraging his son to do so also after him. But after he passed away, the son, he got very greedy. The evil inclination came and told him that, you know, your father wasn't so smart, keep the money for yourself, and he did not give the 10%. In the end, he lost 90% and was only stayed with 10%. We see from this, there's no playing games with Hashem. If Hashem told you that you have to give you 10%, first of all, get that in your head. The money is not yours. Oh, you work for it? You spend day and night. Why should I give my money to somebody else? It's not your money, buddy. You work for it. That's just whatever it is. Even if you didn't work for it. If Hashem wants you to become rich, you'll be rich. Lo Rahamim lechem, it says in the Shlomo Melech. The fact that you're rich is a test for you to give money to other people. At least 10%. You can even get up to 20%. Take a few lesser vacations during the year. Give it to the people that are less fortunate than you. To widows, to orphans, to Talmidei Chachamim that are learning Torah, that in their merit you are living and making money. Yes. That you're living and making money based on their Torah learning. And it's all a test for you. If Hashem wants to see if you're going to give the money or not. If you give, you're going to get more and more. If you don't, you'll be like this son who lost his mind, lost all his money, and ended up with 10%. You don't want to be in his shoes. So B'ezrat Hashem, learn from this lesson and give. From this, we go to the Parashah of Sotah. To a wife that is a little too friendly with other men, other than her husband. She's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, saying hello, ha ha ha. And the husband is telling her, you know, what are you doing? Stop. Rashi is also telling us the connection between this Parashah of Sotah, what came beforehand. Hashem is telling to the rich person, you didn't want to bring Truma, you didn't want to bring your part 10% to the Kohen. I'm going to make sure you're going to come to the Kohen in a very nice way. That you have to bring your wife to the Kohen, and she has to go through the whole procedure of a Sotah. A woman who's found not faithful to her husband. The husband says, stop going and being with men, putting your face on Facebook, what have you, and she doesn't listen. So he has to bring, after warning her a few times, bring her to the Beit HaMikdash, and she has to drink the better waters. And if she really, Hashem helped her not to do anything when she was secluded, okay, so she gets a bracha. But most of the times we know that he can't play with fire. It's like putting cotton next to the fire. Man and woman, when they're next to each other, things happen. Whether at work, when they're not seduah, when they're not modest, if they don't keep their modesty intact, unfortunately, the better waters that will go in her stomach will turn, as the Zohar says, into snakes that are biting her body from the inside, and her feet are falling off, and her body parts. Why? because she was not modest. She said it was okay to be like the non-Jewish world, to go with the Facebook, to put the Instagrams. Everybody should look at her face at the end. This is what the Torah is warning us from. And after that, what did we see? The Nazir. The Nazir who has taken an oath not to drink wine, what have you. The Parashah of a whole, to stay away from yain and wine. Again, Rashi brings and explains what's the connection with the Parashah of Sotah beforehand. It explains that whoever is in the Beit HaMikdash bringing their sacrifice for whatever reason. It happened on that day, there's a woman that's brought as a Sotah to drink the bitter waters. And he ends up being there on that day. Coincidence? No! Hashem is giving a message. Do you know why you saw this right now? Do you know why you see this woman losing her body parts? Because of drinking this bitter waters? Because you have that garbage in your head also. You might have a beard, you might have nice peyot, but you have rotten ideology in your head. You have movies in your head. You also have Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all the garbage in your head. If you think today you're not doing anything, you're on the way to there. So Hashem is sending him a message over there. Before you get there, make sure you stay away from wine, because wine brings all the averot. Stay away from the garbage of internet. Get yourself off of Facebook. Get your wife off of Facebook and YouTube and what have you, so you don't have to get there. Bezat Hashem. Story is told, and with this we finish, of a rich couple who were enjoying life, what have you, but the husband was very stingy. And one day a very poor person came to the door while they were having their meal. The wife opened the door and said, "Can I please have something to eat?" She told her husband. The husband says, "Slam the door in front of his face. Who do you think he is? I have to give him money? I have to give him 10%? Let him go get a job." Slammed the door in his face, and the poor person went away. After that day, this rich person started losing in his business. Bitcoin, another loss here, another loss there. The tariffs that Trump is putting in his business, lost it all! Until he had to divorce his wife because he couldn't function anymore. He didn't have money to give her, and he was sad and depressed. So the wife, she got remarried to another person, and they lived their lives modestly. But little by little, the husband got richer and richer, and the story repeated itself. Well, now there's another poor person coming at the door of the newly rich, and she opens the door. "Can I please have something to eat?" The husband says, "Of course, please take him some steaks, give him some pargyot over there, feed him." Gives it to him and gives him some money in his hand and goes. And then the husband sees the wife is crying. "Why are you crying?" She's like, "I'm crying because that poor person was my former husband. That was my former husband who didn't want to give food. Look what happened to him." And the new husband says, "I know. Because that poor person who slammed the door on his face was me. It was me. And Hashem turned the wheels around. Now he's over there. And you who wanted to give tzedakah ended up with me, and we became rich." We learn from all these stories, first of all, not to be stingy. Get to your head that the money is not yours. The more you have, the more you have to give to the poor, to the less needy. And Hashem will just do good for you. He'll give you much more. Because He sees that you're passing the test of being rich. And once you do that, you don't have to go through bringing your wife to drink the better waters, because she'll stay modest. Because you're a Talmid Chacham, you're also giving tzedakah and you're learning Torah. And if you go in that direction, we also have to fix our ideology. To have the right ideology kosher according to the Torah, not according to the Goyim. Get your face out of Facebook. Get your face out of the internet. Get your pictures away from the people. Who has to look at your wife and your kids? Learn from the Sotah. Don't be like that. And Bezat Hashem, when you keep the Kedusha of modesty, And when the man is learning Torah and is giving charity like they're supposed to, then of course Hashem is going to make sure also they go in the good way, still away from trouble. He'll keep them away from trouble, and He'll only give them good things. And with that, with the modesty of woman, and with the charity and the Torah of man, will be zochet u'moshiach tzidkenu v'chesed Rahamim. B'imhera Amenu Amen. Shabbat Shalom Barach.